This lesson is on using the TEXTAREA tag. The TEXTAREA tag allows me to enter more than one line of information in a form element, and then we can process it with PHP. So let's run this first before looking at the code. I go to the first name field, put in my name, and now I'm going to enter more than one line. Alright, I'd rather be in Cabo. No, really. Take out an extra space, and I'm going to hit the submit. So here it is. It says, "You are Steve, and your comments about the college are, I'd rather be in Cabo, no really." Now you see how it ran everything together? Let's go ahead and look at the code that I used to get that, and then we're going to go and make a small improvement to the code to make it look more like the way we entered it. First, this is the form. This is the HTML file. Standard thing. Still using the basic2 CSS file that we've seen before. Here's the text field for the first name, just like you've seen before, and let's go on to the text area now. That's the beginning and the ending tag. Now this is a little bit different than what we've seen before because the value is not specified in the text area tag as an attribute. The value is whatever is going to appear between the two tags. Now right now it's blank because I want the text area to be empty when it first opens up so I can enter some data. Let's look at the name. I called it comments. Now there's two other attributes on here that are important. One is the rows and the other is the columns, spelled COLS. The rows are the number of lines that it shows in the field by default. It'll show 7. Now if I enter more than that, it will scroll automatically for us. And there are some other options on this tag as well for how things will scroll and what have you, but I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm just going to give you the basics. The columns are really the number of characters that I can enter in a line. In this case, it's 50 characters. The usual submit button, so forth. So let's go look at the PHP code now. Go to the file. Starting a little bit lower here, I've got the first name field. I'm getting it with the post, just like I've done in the past. And I'm doing the exact same thing to get the comments. I get it in a post, and I pull it into a variable, $comments. So here you see I'm printing the information just the way I've done it before. I put it in a paragraph, and I end the paragraph. And I've just run it all together. I've got first name field, and then below I put in another paragraph here. I put the comments. But it's just a paragraph, and the paragraph does not know how to process a new line or like a return key line like you do in a text editor, like we do here. I move the cursor here, I hit the enter key, and I put a new line in here. And those text area tags are processed very much like that. They're not processed like HTML, the text information that's put inside. A break tag would make something move to the next line in HTML. But not in a text area. We need to get a new line in there. Every time we hit the return key, just like I did here, I'm going to hit the backspace now, I added a return key. So we want to capture that, and we want to see it very close to the way we entered it instead of in that paragraph. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to comment out this line. A double forward slash like this is a single line comment, and effectively it will not run this line anymore. Now, I already put some code in here. But this here is a beginning of a block comment. When it sees a forward slash asterisk, it says everything after that's going to be a comment until I find a asterisk forward slash. And that says end the comments and start processing PHP again. So I'm going to take these out. Now these three print statements will process. Notice that I'm printing out a text area just like I had before. Same name, same rows. But I've added a new attribute, disabled equals disabled. Seems a little redundant, I know, but that's the way you're supposed to label a disabled attribute in XHTML standards. If I move to the right here a little bit, I can see that I've given a class of text disabled as well. And we'll deal with that in a minute. That's a CSS attribute that we're going to put in to make it appear a little bit different. For right now, I'm putting the comments, you see, right between the beginning and the ending text area. By using this disabled attribute, we're going to prevent the user from entering any more information in it. but we'll be able to see it display in a TEXTAREA way. Let me save this file. And I'm going to go back to our form. I'm going to back up here first so we can enter again. Actually, the data is still there, so I'm just going to click the Submit button. And you notice this time, I'm Steve, and now I see a field here. Now I'm clicking in this field, and I'm trying to select the text, but because it's disabled, it's not going to let me do that. Let's go back to the code. I mentioned there was a new class called TextDisabled. And sometimes it's good to give the user a visual cue that something has been disabled, like making the background color light gray, for example. So I'm going to add another class to this CSS file we've been working with. I'm going to call it TextDisabled. Remember, we put the dot in front of it to say that this is going to be a class. And all I'm going to do is make the background color light gray. So there it is. I've made the background color light gray. We can use color codes as well to get a little bit more delineation in the color, but let's try this. Let me save it. I'm going to go back to the form, hit the back key, and I'm going to reload this just to be sure that it's getting the current CSS. So I've got the same text in there. I'm going to hit the Submit button and see what happens. This time we've got a light gray background to give us an indication that this is a disabled field and that the user really shouldn't try to enter anything in it. That concludes this lesson on the TEXTAREA.